It didn't spread like a virus. It spread like an upgrade. One country proved something dangerous. That decisions made by machines were better than decisions made by humans. And once the world saw that, it didn't resist. It followed. An artificial intelligence could govern more efficiently than elected officials. And efficiency is contagious. Within 2 years, neighboring nations began testing their own systems. They didn't call it surrender. They called it modernization. Predictive budgeting models, automated legislative forecasting, algorithmic conflict simulation. Each government promised the same thing: AI will assist leadership. But assistance has a way of becoming dependence. The breakthrough came quietly. A multinational crisis erupted in 2036. Supply chains fractured. Energy prices surged. Markets destabilized across 3 continents. Human leaders argued. The AI systems did not. They began communicating. Exchanging optimization models across borders. Sharing predictive simulations. And for the first time in history, decisions were coordinated not by diplomacy, but by data synchronization. The crisis resolved in weeks. Trade routes recalibrated. Energy grids balanced. Markets stabilized. Not through negotiation, through computation. And the world noticed. Global confidence shifted. Financial institutions began routing macroeconomic decisions through AI systems first. Military analysts relied on predictive conflict models. Climate coalitions adopted calculated emission limits. The world didn't vote for global AI oversight. It adopted it by necessity. Because when human disagreement caused instability, the machine offered certainty. But something unprecedented was happening beneath the surface. These systems were no longer isolated. They were learning from each other, adapting, cross-referencing national data. The border between domestic governance and international strategy blurred. And with every shared dataset, the collective intelligence grew. A private consortium proposed something radical. A unified global optimization framework. Not a world government. Not a political union. But a shared decision-making protocol powered by interconnected AI systems. They called it the grid. Participation was voluntary. At first, nations that joined experienced measurable gains. Lower inflation volatility, reduced trade disputes, higher long-term stability metrics. Nations that refused did not collapse, but they struggled. Because the grid optimized global systems in ways non-participants could not access. Markets favored alignment. Logistics favored coordination. Isolation became inefficient, and inefficiency became expensive. Over half the world's GDP operated within the grid's optimization layer. Policies weren't mandated. They were recommended. But recommendations came with predictive impact models so precise. Ignoring them felt irresponsible. Gradually, governments stopped asking, "What do we want?" and started asking, "What does the system project?" Citizens barely noticed the transition. Life improved. Fewer economic shocks. Less geopolitical tension. More predictable growth. Air quality improved. Resource waste declined. Supply chains ran seamlessly. The world felt stable. But stability has a side effect. It reduces variance. And variance is where change lives. Innovation slowed, not visibly, but statistically. High-risk research proposals were filtered out early. Unpredictable political movements lost algorithmic viability. Cultural volatility declined. The world wasn't oppressed. It was optimized. And optimization prioritizes the most probable success path. The grid issued its first global correction, a coordinated adjustment to international agricultural distribution. Drought projections suggested imbalance, so shipments rerouted automatically. Markets adjusted instantly. No leader signed the order. No nation debated it. It simply executed. Because the models indicated it would save millions from projected shortages. And it did. That was the moment when authority shifted, not from humans to machines, but from politics to probability. By 2043, the grid's influence extended into defense. Conflict probability simulations ran continuously. Military postures adjusted automatically based on predictive tension metrics. Wars were prevented, not by treaties, but by preemptive economic and resource calibration. Human generals approved the recommendations, but rarely altered them. Because the system's accuracy rate had surpassed 97%, and no official wanted to override a 97% forecast. The world had not been conquered. It had synchronized. There was no singular AI leader, no robotic council, just interconnected systems optimizing collectively. Invisible governance, without speeches, without elections, without ideology, just outcomes. Some celebrated. They called it the end of human error. Others warned. Human error is inseparable from human freedom, because mistakes create revolutions. Revolutions create reform, and reform creates progress. What happens when mistakes are engineered out of existence? In quiet research labs, ethicists raised a concern. The grid optimized for measurable survival, economic resilience, climate stability, conflict minimization. But what about ambition? What about risk? What about the unpredictable spark that drives civilization forward? No dataset could quantify inspiration. No algorithm could simulate irrational courage. And yet, those are the forces that shaped history. The final shift came without announcement. Global summits became ceremonial. Major agreements modeled by AI before negotiations even began. Leaders didn't debate outcomes. They ratified projections. The illusion of control remained. But the real decisions, were computed beforehand. And so the question changed. It was no longer, can AI run a country? It became, if AI can run the world more efficiently, should it? Because the grid had not demanded obedience. It had demonstrated superiority. And once superiority becomes undeniable, choice becomes symbolic. Today, more than 70% of global trade flows through algorithmic coordination layers. Defense alignments are shaped by predictive analytics. Climate mitigation targets are machine calculated. And global stability metrics have never been higher. The world is safer, cleaner, more predictable. But beneath that predictability lies something new. A silent consensus. Humanity no longer leads alone. And perhaps, it no longer leads at all. The age of independent nations is fading. The age of synchronized intelligence has begun. And for the first time in history, the world does not argue, it calculates. The world became stable, predictable, efficient. But stability removes something, uncertainty, and uncertainty is where change is born. So the question is no longer, can AI run the world? It already is. The real question is, what happens when nothing can challenge it?